Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jhody Putro Prastyo, and I'm here to do a presentation about exploring the language dynamics. There are five key main topics in this presentation, and there are code alternation, style shifting, code mixing, code switching, and the dialects. Yeah, that's the topic that I'm gonna discuss today. So let's start from the introduction. What is language? Language is a dynamic and multifaceted aspect of human communication, influenced by various social, cultural, and contextual factors. In sociolinguistics, researchers study how individuals navigate between different linguistics varieties and styles to express their identities and interact with others. And today we'll explore into the five key main of the topic today. There are code alternation, style shifting, code mixings, code switching, and the dialect. Let's start from the code alternation. Code alternation refers to the strategic use of different linguistics, codes or varieties within a conversation or discourse. It occurs when speakers switch between languages, dialects, or registers to convey a specific meaning or achieve a communicative goals. For example, bilingual speakers might alternate between languages depending on the topic of a conversation, social context, or interlocutors' language preferences. And style shiftings. What is style shifting? Style shifting involves the modification of linguistic features such as vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar to align with different social contexts or speech situations. Speakers adapt their language style based on factors like formally outdated social status. For instance, individuals might use more formal language in professional settings and informal language with friends or family members. Code mixing, and I will give the examples and the illustration later. So, code mixings. Mixing occurs when speakers blend elements from two or more languages or linguistic varieties within a single utterance or sentence. This phenomenon is prevalent in multilingual communities where speakers are proficient in multiple languages. Code mixing can serve various functions such as expressing identity, emphasizing certain words or concepts, or bridging communication gaps between speakers of different languages. Yeah. And I'll give you okay, no. The last one. Code switching. Code switching involves the alternative between two or more languages or dialects within a conversation or discourse. Unlike code mixing, which occurs within a single utterance, code switching involves a complete shifts between languages at the sentence or clause level. Speakers might code switch for pragmatic reasons, such as signaling group identity, accommodating interlocutors, or conveying nuanced meaning that are better expressed in a particular language. And here are the examples and the illustration. A code alternation for example, a bilingual speaker switches from English to Spanish when discussing family matters with their parent, and then back to English when talking about work-related issues with colleagues. Yeah, that's the example of the code alternation. What is style shifting? A job applicant adjusts their language when they're talking, adjust their language style from casual to a formal during a job interview to convey professionalism and competence. Code missing. What is code missing? A speaker says, for example, vamos have lunch juntos. I can do it perfectly, but it means let's have lunch together, blending the English and Spanish words in the same sentence. That's the example of code mixing. And for the code switching, a bilingual speaker says, I'll call you cuando llegue a casa. I'll call you when I get home. Alternating between English and Spanish within the same conversation. That's code switching. Let's move on to the last topic of dialects. A dialect is a variety of a language spoken by a particular group of people within a specific geographical area or social community. This variation can manifest in a pronunciation, which is an accent, vocabulary, grammar, and even intonation patterns. Dialects reflect the linguistic diversity and cultural richness of a society. Well, there are some well-known varieties of dialects, or we can say accents. The one that I'm using right now is an American English. Yeah, there are American English, British English, Australian English. And here are the vocabulary of an American and the British English. For example, let's use the word apartment. Yeah. In American, we say she lives in a nice apartment in New York. But for a British, he has a cozy flat in London. I cannot say it in British, but that's the example. For example, for another elevator, take the elevator to the top floor. For the British, please use the lift to reach the next level. The delivery truck arrived this morning. The lorry is transporting goods to the warehouse. Yeah. And here are some unique vocabulary for Australian English. Let's use the examples of arvo. What is arvo? It's a short example for afternoon. Let's meet at the beach this arvo, which means let's meet at the beach this afternoon in American English. But that's the unique way of saying it in Australian English. And for brekkie, short for breakfast. For example, I'll make us some brekkie before we head out. That's just an example of Australian English. Choke, and there's the next one, choke, slang term or for a chicken. Example, we're having a barbecue tonight, so I'll pick up a choke from the supermarket. Maca, slang term for a McDonald's, the fast food restaurant chain. Let's grab some macas on the way home. That's how you say McDonald's in Australian English. We're gonna dive to regional dialects now. One of the most well-known forms of dialect is regional variation, where linguistic differences are tied to geographical boundaries. For example, in English, speakers in different regions of the United States might pronounce words differently. Like for example, coat versus cart, or use distinct vocabulary like pop and soda for carbonate beverages. Regional dialect pronunciation, like for example, differences between British and American English, such as tomato, that's for British, and tomato for US. Social dialects. Social factors such as socioeconomic status, education level, ethnicity, and age can also influence dialectal variation. Social dialects, often referred to as sociolects, reflect the linguistic norms and practices of specific social groups within a community. For instance, certain vocabulary or pronunciation features might be associated with particular social classes or ethnic group. Variation in African American English, it's based on social factors like age, education, and cultural identity. And now it's slang and style. Well, slang refers to informal words, phrases, and expressing that are commonly used in a casual conversation but might not be considered standard language. Slang often evolves within specific social groups, communities, or subcultures and can change rapidly over time. It adds color, humor, and familiarity to communication but might be difficult for outsiders or the foreigners to learn, to understand without context. Yeah. Slang can reflect a cultural trends, attitudes, and shared experiences, serving as a form of identity and belonging within a group. For the language style, it refers to a variation in language use that are influenced by factors such as context, audience, purpose, and social norms. Different styles of language include formal, informal, academic, technical, and expressive styles. Each characterization by diction, by vocabulary, grammar, tone, and register. Styles of language can vary across different communication settings, such as formal speeches when we're talking in public, public speaking, for example, and casual conversations, talking with friends, academic writing, or technical manuals. Adapting language style appropriately enhances communication effectiveness and reflect social awareness and linguistic competence. And the conclusion, the last one, in summary, we can take it as yeah, code alternations, solitary code, missing code switching, and dialects reveal how language varies and is used in different social settings. They show how language, culture, and society are closely connected. Yeah, this phenomena help us understand how people communicate and express themselves in various situations. By studying this aspect, linguists learn a lot about how language influences social identity and interaction. They get a better grasp of how people use language to connect with others and show who they are. Yeah. That's the end of the presentation today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.